Let's get in more voices. Raghav, Chandra, former Chairman, National Highway Authority of India, joins me. Professor YP Sundrial, geologist. Dr. Anjal Prakash, Research Director, Bharati Institute of Public Policy at ISB, with us. Appreciate all of you joining us. Raghav, Chandra, moment to celebrate for now, and perhaps also a few learnings to ensure that we do not have to go through this again.
Yes, this is indeed a moment of great relief, satisfaction and joy for all of us that these poor workers have been rescued and that there have been no casualties and that all of them are looking fairly healthy and safe. In terms of, there's also a great feeling that not just for cricket, but for something as human as, this, the entire nation can unite and all agencies can work together wholeheartedly, seamlessly, and they have done such a fantastic job in rescuing the workers.
Professor YP Sundrial,
so it's really a matter of great satisfaction and pride.
Professor YP Sundrial, your first reactions. The workers are safe. It's a moment of relief, as was just pointed out. But is it
Yes.
also a moment for us to look at the implications to ensure that tunnels, those constructing tunnels, are kept in as safe conditions as possible? Time for a safety audit?
Yes. First of all, trapped workers are out now. So this is a great movement for all. And hats off to red miners and other members of the rescue team who were continually day and night putting their all efforts to bring the trapped workers out. Yes, now this is the time when government will think for the safety audit, and I was just listening Chief Minister of Uttarakhand, and I got one message from the central government also. They are ready for the safety audit of all the tunnels being constructed for the railway track from Rishikesh to Karnaprayag, and certainly they will audit that how and why this tunnel was collapsed.
Dr. Anjal Prakash, Research Director, Bharati Institute of Public Policy, your first reactions to what has been a remarkable job, a remarkable effort by the rescue teams coming together?
Yeah, thanks, Rajdeep. No, definitely it's a moment of joy for all of us who have been watching this very closely for 17 days, and I think this is one of the best coordinated effort that I could ever see in the recent history, where different organizations, people, 2,000 people on the ground, and the local administration has come together to rescue 41 workers. Each and every worker has been rescued without any scratch on their body, and that is something that is remarkable. I must say that this is a moment in history for all of us. But having said this, I think this is also time for us to think about the kind of havoc that has been created in the Himalayas, which I have been warning day in and day out, and I think that's something that we must discuss at this moment as we celebrate the joyful occasion for all of us.
So it's a moment of celebration, it's a moment of introspection, but just for a moment to Raghav, Chandra, to just look at what it takes to bring various organizations of the government together. I think that is something that the government should feel at least satisfied that they've got various government agencies working in tandem. And we are seeing this now time and again, whether it's cyclones, whether it's tunnel rescue operations. We seem to be, as a nation, far better equipped to handle disasters than we ever were. Mr. Chandra, can you hear me? Okay, we'll try and come back to Mr. Chandra in a moment, but you want to take that, Dr. Anjal Prakash, the fact that, the sense of satisfaction today comes from the fact that various government organizations in a crisis can work together, state government, centers, government, and civil society. The Delhi Jal Board sent some of its workers who have a track record of going down deep drains. We had teams from Gorakhpur, we had rat miners from Jhansi, all of them coming together along with the NDRF and other government rescue teams and international experts.
No, absolutely. There's no two. No, absolutely, there's no two way that this is one of the the best coordinated effort that I have seen, as I said, in the recent time. And post disaster also, as your question was initially, we have been doing very well. But my pitch is not about the post disaster, because my pitch is about what happens when the disaster strikes. What is that we are doing to prevent this disaster for the things. And let me just take this moment also to say and warn that these kind of disasters are going to happen much more in the future if we create the similar kind of a situation as we are in. And I must warn that this year you have seen what has happened because of climate change. Himachal Pradesh has gone through a very serious problem. Similar problems Uttarakhand has been facing. We are living in a very fragile ecosystem. Climate change is a force multiplier for all of us. We must rethink and relook at the projects that we are constructing in the Himalayas. That is what I would put forward. Apart from the jubilation, the joy that I have, I must also warn that this is something to be looked for. We must reevaluate these projects because the projects have been conceptualized much before the climate change has stricken to all of us, and we must reevaluate. We must look at the safety measures that has been.
Right.
I think there has been a slack in some of those technical aspect. We must look at that as well.
Mr. Chandra, as a former Director, National Highways Authority of India, while we celebrate the manner in which various government and civil society rescue workers have come together in this rescue operation, should we also be looking at perhaps how do we avoid such disasters? Will there be enough focus on that? Do you really believe that the government will now also have to look at how do we ensure disaster prevention?
Yes, indeed, that's something absolutely necessary, and we must draw a very healthy balance between our development aspirations and our environmental protection and safeguarding, especially in an era of climate change. That having been said, it is extremely important to ensure that the requisite technical evaluations are done in advance in an appropriate manner. And one of the biggest shortcomings normally is that the detailed project reports, when such projects are launched, are not undertaken correctly. And, the consultants who are working on the DPRs, they usually cut corners and they don't do the kind of diligence that they ought to do, as a result of which the project itself is undertaken in a somewhat slipshod manner and justice is not done.
Let me though for a moment just press the pause button at the moment. Sure, while we look into the future, let me focus on the present.